What if ministers never went to seminary? Have you ever wondered what the church might look like if ministers never went to seminary? Not because education is bad, but because so many seminaries today teach critical theories, historical skepticism, or denominational slants that actually weaken faith instead of strengthening it. The apostles didn't have degrees. In fact, Acts 4:13 says the religious leaders perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, but they also noticed something powerful. They had been with Jesus. That was the difference. Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 2:4-5, "My speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power, that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God." The early disciples weren't shaped by classrooms and credentials. They were shaped by walking with Christ and being filled with the Holy Spirit. Jesus himself promised in John 14:26 that the Spirit would teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance. Here's the danger. When ministers begin to trust intellectual pride more than spiritual dependence, the pulpit turns into a lecture hall instead of a place of life. The gospel isn't spread by letters after a name. It spreads by Spirit-filled lives set on fire by Christ. So what if today's ministers never went to seminary? What if instead they went to their knees? What if instead of chasing credentials, they chased the presence of God? Maybe then the world would once again take knowledge of them that they had been with Jesus.